When my son was born, our first child was born, picked me up and threw me off the bed and broke my collarbone. And so I was a new mom with a new baby at a month old and had a broken collarbone. I was picked up and left, and it lasted about a month, and he found out where I was, and he came and he duct taped me up and locked me in the bathroom and told me I was never gonna ever leave that bathroom again. But luckily the neighbors downstairs heard, and they came, and he left with my son before the police could come. And they took pictures and everything, but of course I didn't want to do any sort of legal things because I didn't want him to be even more mad at me. Well, one day I just decided I just couldn't do it anymore, and I just picked up my stuff and put it into a big bag, and I just told my kids, we're just going to go away for a little bit and we'll be back. And I just rented a hotel room, and I talked to some of the people at DHS and just told them I couldn't do this anymore. I was mom with a really big family, and I had been dealing with somebody that had been physically hurting me for almost half my life, and I didn't want to do it anymore. And I came into shelter, and I lived there for almost a year. And slowly but surely through the process of living in the shelter, I started recreating me, or bringing the old me back, in terms of being able to make my own decisions, make my own choices, have my own opinion, form a personality, which I guess I thought I never had, and to just make a better life for my family.
Every nonprofit has a story. Helping Hands is no exception. Mother of 3, local Hood River teacher, estranged husband, consistently abusing her, mentally and physically, confides in her friends on the abuses that are happening within the confines of her home. On June 13th, 1978, her estranged husband breaks into her house and she shoots and kills him. The grand jury, with the testimony of her friends, find her innocent by self-defense. She and 2 friends then start the crisis hotline. They take in clients, find them shelter, give them a safe haven, and that is how Helping Hands was born.
73% of intimate partner stalkers verbally threaten violence. 59% of female victims and 30% of male victims are stalked by an intimate partner. 46% of victims of stalking experience violent incidents by the stalker. 1 in 12 women and 1 in 45 men will be stalked in their lifetime.
Abuse happens in our community. I do this work because I know it works. I know that every time I meet with a new survivor, when they leave this place, they will be more knowledgeable and independent. I know that each survivor will succeed if advocates, the justice system, and the community continue to help.
Go get it. Good boy. What a good boy.
48% of survivors do not leave their abusive situation because they cannot take their pet. 68% of battered women reported violence towards their animals. 75% in the presence of children. I tried to leave once. When I was attempting to leave, he took the kitten, grabbed a fork, and stabbed it in the leg. The children were screaming. He told me that he would kill it if I left. I knew he would. He had done it before. The children were begging. I stayed.
When a survivor is socially isolated by her abuser, many times her pet is not just her best friend, but it could be her only friend. Knowing the correlation between domestic violence and pet abuse, we knew we had to respond. So Helping Hands, in a partnership with the American Humane Society, we are one of a handful of shelters in Oregon and one of only 64 in the entire country that provide safety, support, and hope, not just for our women and their children, but also for the family pets.
My name is Jean Harmon, and I've lived in this community for 40 years. Domestic violence happens in this community, and that's something we must remember. And this particular shelter and our Helping Hands for Violence organization has been doing good work for 33 years. We must continue to support it.
Coming to Helping Hands makes me happy.
I would like to thank the staff at Helping Hands. They have provided a safe place for my children and I. They're always helping with resources so we can work towards being on our own and independent. Their laughter and their smiles help me when I'm down and out and feeling very hopeless.
I have always wondered when the abuse would stop in my family, when I would be able to look at my siblings' eyes and begin to see the beautiful sparkle of joy that was robbed from us all. I just want all the bad memories erased. I was put down a lot, called fat, stupid, ugly. I struggle with liking myself. I struggle with overeating. This makes it more difficult to like myself. The cruel words taunt me to this day. I am working on my self-image so I can feel comfortable walking out in public without having to wear a big old sweater to hide my body. I know in my heart there will come a day soon where I see the true beauty that lies deep in my soul.
We are not always so worried, and my mom doesn't cry anymore.
It's like we got a second start to our lives, and the second one is much better.
I'm going to share a letter that was written by a 17-year-old girl who stayed here at the Helping Hands shelter. Now that the abuse is no longer in my home, I don't have to be afraid of what is going to happen next. I don't have fear anymore. I am not afraid to be myself anymore. I no longer have to see my family or myself hurt anymore. I want to thank all of those who have helped me and my family.
This is a quote from one of our clients. I just wanted to say thank you for all the caring and keeping my family together. All of you were so kind and supportive to us, and I am eternally grateful that the world has people like you.
Domestic violence happens in our community.
Helping Hands Against Violence provided 2,746 nights of shelter in 2010.
This is from one of our clients. Coming into the shelter was a life-changing experience. Everything went from being in complete chaos to how I always dreamed my life would be. Plain, simple, and normal. Thank you.
Sexual assault happens in our community.
Hi, my name is Greg Colt. 1 in 6 women in Oregon will be a victim of forcible rape in their lifetime. That means 1,823 women right here in Hood River County. In 2010, there were 19 sex crimes reported. So far this year in 2011, there's already been 5. Many sex crimes, particularly date rape, will go unreported. Approximately 1 in 5 high school girls report being sexually abused on a date here in Hood River County.
I'll be reading a letter from one of our survivors. Going through abuse affects you in so many ways. You feel as if you have no place in society, no ability to make healthy decisions, and skewed outlook on people around you in your life. When I met my abuser, the abuse started very early in our relationship and lasted 17 years. I wanted out so bad I was beaten down, confused, not healthy at all. Being away from my abuser has benefited my children and I so much more. I can look into the eyes of my children and see life, hear their precious laughter, watch them grow up, and be people, just flourish in life. I can hold my head up high, talk to people, assert myself to others, set safe boundaries for myself and my kids. My outlook in life has become so much clearer. The pain and the memories will always be there, but the important thing to keep in mind is the more I open up and share, talk about what my children and I have endured, it not only gets easier, but the painful memories fade. It becomes less of a stronghold in my life. I can breathe.
Helping Hands me ha ayudado a tener conocimientos para sobresalir. This is a statement from a survivor. Helping Hands has helped me obtain knowledge to surpass. The counseling has helped me to report the abuse which many women keep silent. I have learned that no woman deserves to be mistreated. The help of Helping Hands has served me to excel personally in my current life. I have received a lot of support from the advocates. Without their help, I would have not known this place and I would still live with fears and anxiety. But I found this place which has offered me a lot of hope and tranquility. I am very grateful for having their support in different situations.
I was afraid when I came here, not sure I wouldn't go back home. But the staff helped me keep on track and headed in the right direction, towards independence.
Abuse happens in Hood River County, In 2010, there were 105 cases of domestic violence reported to law enforcement, 18 sex crimes, 55 restraining orders, and 2 stalking orders.
In 2010, Helping Hands provided hospital assistance to 90 survivors, 173 safety planning sessions, 217 crisis counseling sessions, 248 transportation services, 992 follow-up services with survivors, 1,142 information and referrals, 2,746 nights of shelter.
We need your help. The services are in jeopardy. We need to gain awareness of our cause, and we need financial stability to continue our mission. To find out ways that you can help us, you can visit us at www.helpinghandsoregon.com.
Life is so different now.